Hey guys, I'm Jared Nub, and today I'm bringing a first part of a 16-7 win in an elite war against the clan Imaginatic. And so I guess I'm just gonna be showing the lowest 8 3-stars, the 3 stars on the lowest half of the war rankings defense-wise. Even though a lot of these guys were maxed out. Defenses were all maxed out. It didn't really make a big difference which number they were ranked, but just to make things a little more easier to organize for me and figure out which spaces I already recorded, I am going to just go in ascending order from 35 all the way down to whatever the top 3-star is. So, starting by a raid by the person that, of course, I cannot name. So, Queen Healer starting from the top, going all the way to the top left. King on the bottom right, take out that entire compartment and lure out the clan castle with poison to kill whatever small troops were in there. Good wall breakers got the junction up top, so he was able to take out the Expo with the Archer Queen. And so now the Hound is distracted on the Archers and Barbarian that is on the right side. Queen targets the Queen, so hits the ability to take her out quick, and then starts the balloon drop. And so starting just all along the bottom left here, the Expo is set to ground, so it's going to be targeting the Queen. And so he doesn't decide to freeze the Inferno, so the Inferno was able to stop the healers from getting the Queen back up to full health, so the Expo and Inferno were able to take her out. So now dropped a freeze on the Teslas, Arch Towers, and Infernos, and then raged them, and then rage all the balloons through. Now just has a Hound for the back and a couple of extra balloons just to get the last few defenses in the back end. So then he has, of course, a couple of minions for cleanup, make the time a little bit easier. And now the Hound popped, and now the balloon and pups are going to finish off that air defense. And now that all of the air defending defenses are out, it's just a matter of cleanup from here. And so there we go, he was able to easily get that. And now we will move on to the second raid by Vlad Koliadas. I don't know. I am very bad with pronunciations, so hopefully I got something close there. So, same basic strategy, just starting with a Queen Healer type thing, starting from the top corner. Looks like he's gonna move on to the right side, but gonna start off by taking out the clan castle with the Queen, because the clan castle is pretty far outside, so it was easy to lure out. So drop poison, take out some of those archers, and then the pups, when they explode, so they would fly back to her and just right under the poison. So King dropped on the top left side to take out the top left air defense, Arch Tower, and cannon compartment. And Queen on the top right broke in there, so she could take out all those defenses in there and then move on to the inside. So the King was able to take out the top left compartment and start dropping his balloons and Hounds a little bit early before the Queen gets taken out, but it's a low-level Queen, and he has his Queen and healers under rage, so able to take that out without using the Queen ability, so he didn't really have to watch out for the Queen right there, so he was able to deploy his balloons pretty early. So now we just got hastes on the corners, and then slowly going for the air defense. And so now just freezing the Inferno and keeping the Sweeper and Tesla frozen with both of the freezes, and just switching Infernos. So now a small balloon split, going to be able to get the Inferno Tower pretty easily. A lot of low health balloons on the left side. The Wizard Tower is probably going to be able to take that out along with those air skellies. But he's also got a couple of balloons on the right side that's going to be able to go for the Wizard Tower, along with the Queen, who was able to survive and still break through that wall and shoot down the Wizard Tower at the end. So now all defense is down. It's just a matter of cleanup again. So there we go, 3-star right there. Nice raid by him. And now moving on to raid number 3. This is a Hogga Wipe type, say Hogga Wipe raid with giants and a. It's kind of simple but complex at the same time. Yes, because this is a very weird strategy in my opinion. Actually, no, the way he's gonna do it is actually a little bit simple to explain. So starting with a small queen walk from the bottom left with giants to distract. Then he drops a couple of golems, and I think he has P.E.K.K.A.s in there. Yeah, golems, P.E.K.K.A.s with his heroes in there. Lets them just punch through the wall to break that down. Has a poison spell, get the small troops from the clan castle, maybe some skellies if they go in there. Jump spell right in the middle so he could have access to all the core compartments, and now he just drops all of his hogs on the bottom right side. Gonna start taking out all of those defenses. So now some of those are down. Hits the king ability, he's gonna be able to take out that right side inferno. So now all the hogs are being healed up on the right side. The left inferno got taken out by those golems over there, and so now he just got brute force from here pretty much. He's got a lot of troops left, a couple of spells left, and not much left to go through. So the hogs are just gonna punch through a couple of these defenses on the top corner, and then he's gonna drop his last heal spell soon here. Yeah, right there. Get through that last top left compartment. So after that's done, all that's left is now the wizard tower, cannon, and arch tower. The cannon was able to take out the queen before the queen took out the cannon, so that's gonna hurt a little bit for cleanup, but it's not gonna be a big deal. He's got a bunch of hogs left and not much buildings left to take out, so just spinning it up here, and then there we go, was able to take out all defenses pretty easily. And the king was kind of stuck in that weird position, ready to punch, but just didn't do it in time. So now another raid by Nakalefina, consistent as ever with 2 triples on that account this war. You are fantastic. So another just queen healer type walk. This guy has some pretty low level cannons, archer towers, so the queen healer walk is pretty simple. You're able to heal the queen up a lot easier with these level 11 cannons, Town Hall 9 level cannons. And so he's able to get away with less healers, less giants than you would typically need for this kind of base, so it's pretty good for him. So he drops his king on the bottom left side. He's going to take out those outside builder huts and then move on to the inside to get that arch tower, air defense, mortar, and Tesla, along with that elixir storage, I guess, because, I don't know, it's not that important, I guess, but it helps. So now the queen is on the right side. She's going to shoot down that air defense before it is able to take out too much of the healers. I think it took out 1. It's now raging, taking out that expo, and now just going to move on to the inside soon. Queen targeting her, so now the queen's going to be able to shoot down the opponent queen. It's now just working her way inside, drops the hounds and balloons starting from the bottom right side. And so something that I'm just not a big fan of is that so the queen's targeting that inferno tower, but he didn't freeze the inferno tower, so the queen was going to die. And I would have just froze the inferno tower a little bit early, maybe drop the balloons a little bit earlier. That way they can kind of work together, take out the inferno tower, and the queen would still survive till the end. But that's just me. So he still has a bunch of balloons up. They're all going to converge from one inferno to the next, and so not much is left. Just got the air defense, Tesla, Expo, and arch tower. Now that Tesla and Expo was down, just the arch tower and air defense. So a bunch of balloons are just going to converge onto that, and there we go. All defense is down. Has a couple of minions, and it looked like a balloon left for cleanup. So now I'm just going to speed this up here. Not much time. Not going to take much time for this cleanup, and there we go. So I think that was the 4th one, so this should be the 5th by Casey Delaney. Casey Delaney. He has a homosexual knee. That is a terrible pun, I know, but it's what I use for him, so don't judge. So he's starting with a queen on the top left with a giant to distract the whatever defense was up there. I think it was a cannon, might have been an arch tower, and then drop the healers at the top. That way the air defense wouldn't be able to reach the healers, and he was able to walk around the right side. And so now took out the air defense with rage. Has a bunch of wall breakers coming into that junction over there. That way he could break the queen in there. And so now he's got the hound distracted on some archers on the bottom. Had the queen take out, or the king take out the bottom left compartment. Queen ability able to take out the Inferno and the opponent queen, and then 3 Hog Riders on the top left air defense. So with this lure, he was able to get an Inferno and 3 air defenses, so that's pretty nice. Now he just has a couple of hounds and a bunch of balloons for the rest of this base. Heal spells on the corners. It's just pretty normal looting, I guess. A lot of it is kind of the same, but a little bit different, I guess. I don't know. So just raging the outside and then hasting into the Inferno and Expo. I personally probably would have switched it around, but it works out of the way. The healers are actually distracting that wizard tower at the top a little bit, and now the balloons are going to get killed by that wizard tower, I think, or will they? Oh, it would take it out pretty quick. So now all the balloons, or a bunch of the balloons, were alive, able to take out the remaining defenses. So just speeding it up here. Hound is distracted on the healers, and now all that's left is that town hall, and he was able to get taken down pretty easily by those big massive balloons. So now we're going to do one of the raids done by me. I did both of William's raids this war because he told me that he was old and lazy, so he did not want to do his war attacks this war. So yeah, so I got to attack for him both times this war. So starting with Queen with one giant in front of her to distract that cannon, and then a giant on the bottom with healers to distract all those bottom defenses, so the Queen can walk over there and not be targeted by any of those. So have that invincible giant for a little bit. Now the healer is going to switch to the Queen, heal her back up, and now the King on the top right side going to be able to take out that entire compartment, probably, I think. I don't really remember too much. So rage wall breakers into the bottom corner, so double rake into there, so the Queen has access to basically the entire core. So raged Queen healer able to take out both healers without needing her ability. Hound distracted on the top right by a minion and a couple of archers. So now after the Queen is gonna start shooting at that air defense, I'm going to drop my Hound and balloons. And the balloon deployment on this one was pretty sloppy, not gonna lie. I was pretty tired though. It was like 1 or 2 in the morning when I did this raid, so not very smart to do a war attack like this at that late, but it was the only time I could do it. So all the haste and freezes were now dropped. Only one balloon was on that top left sweeper, so I was able to kind of screw with the balloons on the right side. Actually got one of those air mines triggered, so it was kind of hard to take out that Expo. They were barely able to take out the Expo, but the Inferno was able to survive and do pretty good amount of damage, but still have a couple of balloons left, able to take that out easily. The Queen survived on the bottom. She was able to take out that air defense after shooting that wall for some reason. I don't know why. And then just a couple of minions for cleanup, so have full health Queen, couple of balloons, good amount of pups and minions, so just speeding it up here, 90%. So the Hound died, and now and there we go. Now it's finally a 3-star. So now moving on to the next raid. This one was also done by me on Will's account. So it's pretty much the same as last time, using a giant and healers to distract a corner compartment, and then just one giant distracting the Queen from like one defense. That way she's going to be able to take that out and then walk down to the other side to have those healers help her. So she's going to go up to the right side, take out that gold mine and gold storage, and then move back down to the left, take out the wizard tower and mortar. And then she's just going to slowly walk down a little bit to the bottom left. The healer's doing a good job the giant doing a good, dang it, 5% battery. The giant doing a good job distracting those defenses. And so now the healers decide to change to the Queen. That was good for them. Good by them. King on the top right, breaking into the top right compartment to take out the arch towers and air defense. Queen taking out that cannon. Then she's going to move on to the town hall. Dropped a minion on the bottom right side. That's going to distract the Hound once it comes out. Use a couple of wall breakers and a rage. Get the wall for the left core compartment open. Queen's going to be able to shoot down the King pretty easily. Now the healer's going to move on into that rage, keep the Queen up to full health. Now just starting my balloon drop a little bit early, hit the Queen ability, so she's going to be able to take out the opponent Queen. And now I dropped the freeze a little bit early, just that way the Inferno wouldn't target my Queen, so she could take out the Teslas and still have full health. So now all that's touching the queen is just the Infernos. And so now that one's frozen, the other got taken out. The queen is at full health in the core of this guy's base. And so that's kind of something I like to do, just have the queen alive in the core of the base, much more effective than if she's alive on the outside, because that's just cleanup. But if she's in the core, she can take out air skellies and the hound. And also, if you didn't notice, on the top left side, there was the hound distracting the air defense, and then a couple of minions I used to take that out. So there was like an earlier war attack, earlier this war that I saw somebody do that, so I decided to try it myself, and worked out pretty nicely. So now moving on to the last raid of this part, and so this is a Tong Big Way. It's a weird name. Kind of never said that name out loud, only in my head. Just sounds much weirder saying it out loud. You should do that with like all your clan mates. Just go through them all in your list and just name all their names out loud. Just how weird some of them might sound. So now we got the king on the bottom left, queen on the top right. You know, taking out opposite air defenses. King's ability able to easily take out that entire compartment and lure out the hound from the clan castle. And it looks like he's got a couple of archers to distract the hound. Giant queen healer on the top right, able to take out that compartment. Queen at pretty low health, but the healers just dropped a rage, so that's going to help the healers and queen take out these defenses pretty easily, not having to worry about her health too much. So now the queen's going to be able to take out the opponent queen. Doesn't need her queen ability. Dropped one wall breaker. I don't really know what that was for, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was just to pop up those Teslas so the queen could take it out or something. And so now just pretty normal loon drop once again. Just instead of hasting both corners, he just hasted the entire left side, but just kept the right side whole. So now he had a bunch of balloons converging into the middle of the space. So that was not a bad idea, I guess. So now all that's left is just the air defense, wizard tower, and Tesla. But the balloons with the haste are able to pretty easily speed up to the air defense. So now all that's left is that Tesla. The queen is still alive in the center, able to take out that king. Going to shoot down some of those air skellies. And so the balloons are going kind of slow, though, distract down that cannon while the Tesla is able to take them out. But the queen is alive in the core, so she was able to actually take out the Tesla before the balloons got there. So now, once again, just a bunch of balloons, good amount of pups, and a couple of minions for cleanup, as well as a queen in this one, since she was able to survive. So that helps a ton if you can get your queen to survive. So there we go. That's going to wrap that up. So pretty good first few war raids. So I'll show the second half of the war raids, the higher ones. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy that, and I will see you all next time. Gosh, my throat is dry.